Well, hello everybody. It is Amber Kivet here with Lifepro, bringing you a live moment here in cold part of northern Indiana. We have had a lot of cold weather here lately. It is super bone chilling cold here. And did I already tell you, like, I don't like cold weather at all. Like, my body hurts. It's really hard on like the emotional side of things. So I'm coming to you today to share with you some strategies that maybe you can utilize, like I'm using here, on how to kind of warm your spirit up and warm your body up on in these moments where it is just really cold outside. When it's cold outside like this, during the holiday season, or depending on where you are watching from, some of you are snowbirds and you go someplace else nice and warm to be able to compensate for this nasty cold weather that many of us hurt to, while others of you might crave the cold because it actually can be healing to you. Or many of you are polar bears, whereas I'm not a polar bear, I'm more of a sunbird. So when weather like this hits me, I have had some autoimmune conditions in the past, and I still suffer from autoimmune conditions. And when it gets cold like this, like, the body just hurts more. So today I'm enjoying my sauna blanket. I'm in the Rejuva Wrap X. You can see my Lifepro blanket here. I'm out on an outdoor patio where it is really cold. Might as well be out there in that snow doing snow angels. But I've got the Rejuva Wrap X, which is really a nice, buttery, soft, leathery feeling sauna blanket. And I'm wearing shorts and next to nothing underneath it here. It's got gray little armholes. So if you really want to cover up and experience all of this, you can. But wow, it is cold. And so we have to do what we can in order to warm our bodies up, because our body does not thrive in cold unless you're doing a polar plunge, cold water immersion, in which it shocks the system so that your body can learn how to be more resilient. It can learn how to be more regenerating, healing, and it can reduce inflammatory hormones. But for many of us who have more inflammation when the weather gets cold, we have to have different strategies in order to figure out how to warm our tissues up so that we don't feel so stiff and brittle. So looking here, I'm going to show you here with the, I'm showing this to you from my, I'm working from an iPhone today instead of my computer, but the Rejuva Wrap X, again, it is a nice buttery feeling device, blanket. It's a sauna blanket. So I'm in here in my shorts and no socks on my Piggly Wigglies. We want, with a sauna, with an infrared sauna blanket, we want to be able to experience as much direct contact to our skin as possible, because the Rejuva Wrap X, as well as many of our other sauna blankets, have an infrared coil built into it. And infrared light, you can't see from the naked eye. It doesn't show up on us. Just getting a little comfy cozy. If you overheat really easy, you can unzip this so that you can cool off a little bit more. If you're one of those people who just feels a lot more like claustrophobic, but you still want that warmth, you can zip yourself in here. You can pull yourself up and experience the armholes, kind of like a slumber bag or sleeping bag. But anyhow, there are infrared coils in between these layers of this buttery leather fabric. It is a vinyl, it's not leather, but it feels like leather. It's really, really soft. But that infrared wavelength coil does the same thing as what a traditional sauna will do, okay? So that's what makes it really, really nice for cold weather days, because infrared, it regenerates stem cells, it regenerates collagen, which is what holds our skin together. It minimizes or lowers the stress hormones in our body. It makes our tissues feel good, and it increases. It's like turning on your engine to letting it warm up in the middle of cold winter, in which the oil is really glued and sticky and not moving through the engine very well. And when the engine is not lubricated, it doesn't run the same way. So I am warming my body up using infrared technology in order to lubricate and warm up the fluids in my body, which are then going to make through in my joints, which make my joints feel much, much better. So that's what I'm doing right now in the sauna blanket. And behind me, while I'm enjoying the heat of the sauna blanket, I've got the Revivify sauna. It's a deluxe steam sauna, portable sauna. So I'm visiting with a friend up in northern Indiana near Notre Dame today. And so we already walked through the snow at Notre Dame campus, and it was bone-chilling cold. But the Revivify behind me, I've got the steamer working over here to my side right now. You can see that the panel is all steamed up, and there's red light therapy panel in there as well that you can use at the same time. But I'm going to hop in there here in just a second once I get all warmed up with the infrared, because the Revivify, it is a steam sauna deluxe, so it does not have the infrared coils that traditional saunas have, but we're creating steam, which creates the heat that fills into our body, and just it warms us up, and it keeps us from feeling rigid and tense and not so good on these cold weather days. So you'll see that here in just a second. I'll take you inside the tent. But I put that tent together in maybe 30 minutes tops. And now that I know how to put it together, it can be disassembled in about 5. It can be rolled up and put in its carry bag, so you can travel with it wherever you want to. I drove 3 hours to get to where I'm at today to be able to assemble that and be able to relax in this cold weather, winter wonderland. So it's a couple good strategies so that when life is on the go, you still have options as to how you can warm up and keep your body feeling fresh and feeling good. And the sauna blanket heats up to anywhere from, if you want that 90-degree temperature, all the way up to 150 degrees. It gets pretty warm and snuggly in here. But again, if you feel a little claustrophobic, you can have hands free. If you want to feel it all and you want to just lay out here and just meditate and just think about how awesome it feels to lay out in the middle of a wintry snow mix, you can just lay out here and meditate and just let the timer do its thing. It heats up for about 60 minutes at a time if you choose to. You have control with all that through the remote. And then, of course, when it comes to our body having the ability to heal and feel fluid and feel good like it does in the middle of warm weather temperatures, the key to feeling the key to not having rigidity in the joints or not feeling that arthritic tension, pain within the joints, is staying hydrated, because our connective tissue, which we call fascia, is made up of 80% to 90% water. From the neck up, it's about 90% water. From the neck down, it's about 80% water. But it's made up, it's like this jelly, it's this jelly fiber that our body just, it naturally has throughout us, start to finish, toes to fingers, and there's no empty spaces in between. But I tell people it's almost like fishnet stockings dipped in Jell-O. And when we have weather like this, where it's like really cold and, right, that Jell-O becomes more like glue or peanut butter. So the joints are just really not wanting to move along very well. But hydration is really important. And if you are somebody who is dealing with a lot of autoimmune conditions, or if you're taking a lot of prescriptions, or if you eat a lot of junk food and you don't want to lay down the sugar, or you want to be able to indulge in holiday cookies, we have to make sure that our body is not remaining at a high acidic level. And so if you've heard lately of people wanting to consume alkaline positive water or alkaline rich water versus water that is natural or a neutral pH, if you're wanting to add a polarity boost to it, our new Hydrolife bottle, we have a whole new line of water bottles with Lifepro. And if you fill this up with regular water, and then it has a button here, and if I push that button and turn it upside down, there is a motor in here, and it has a plus charge ionization apparatus in here that it is pushing positive ions into this water. And after 10-15 minutes of this charging the water by pushing an electrical charge through the water, which is a great conductor of electricity, by the way, the water transfers charges through, and that's how our body works. Our whole body is very ionic. So in other words, all of our cells carry either more of a positive or negative charge, and the electrical information from our brain through our nervous system also works off of electrical highways. So if you can introduce, if our body is most acidic because we are eating a lot of crap food, which creates a more acidic pH within the system, then our cells tend to not respond as well, and that's where the mutation can happen. We call that oxidative stress. And as that happens, we start to feel not so good, and certain symptoms or certain conditions or certain illnesses. Maybe some of you who are diabetic, your A1C numbers are much different when you are eating some of those food and testing your numbers. Or maybe if you have fibromyalgia, you feel worse when you eat sugar versus when you don't. Why? Because it has a higher level of acidity that within the gut. So what we put in our system changes the chemistry in our gut. And if we have a higher level of acidity in our gut, if we use a plus charge of alkalinity, then we can kind of change the pH within our whole body. So alkaline positive or alkaline ionized water is kind of become a new trend here in the last couple years, and Lifepro has come out with 2 different water bottles. This is the big one, but it's come out with 2 different water bottles. This is its power button, so as you're seeing those little bubbles coming up, it is charging my water. And then on the back side is the input for the charge cable. So this runs on an ionized battery on the inside, but when you plug it in with your C-type battery charger, it charges the battery in the lid. If I tilt it back upside down, it keeps track of your water for an entire day, and then it tells you what time you should drink that water. If you're behind schedule, you got to gulp a little bit more, but there's what the inside of that water bottle looks like. And when I turn on the power button, you can see that it has the motor is in this waterproof housing. But you can just drink it straight from the bottle. Pretty good. It's a weird thing to explain the taste of water. Depending on where you live, your city water might taste different because of the fluoride or because of the different chemicals that they put into water treatment plants. But yeah, you put water in this however you want to. If you want to use distilled water, or you want to use just spring water or water bottle water, whatever you want to put in here. But flip it upside down, push the power button on, charges, and then you drink it within 10 or 15 minutes, because the charge does not remain in the water for long periods of time. So once you charge it, you got to drink it. But it gives you an idea of how much water you should be drinking throughout the day. This water bottle holds 300 milliliters or 10 ounces. No, that's not right. That's at the very bottom. This one holds 1,500 milliliters. It says the low setting is 10 ounces or 300 milliliters, but its max capacity is 50 ounces or 1,500 milliliters. If you are 200 pounds, you need to be making sure you're drinking 100 ounces of water minimum every day. Every day. This will hold 50, so you drink 2 of these for an entire day and your body will be happy. But when it gets cold outside, the way that our cells, the way that our tissues work is very similar to that of a car in the middle of winter that hasn't had a chance to warm up. The motor just doesn't run the same way. The viscosity of the fluids working through, like the transmission fluid and the engine oil and all the different lubes that make up a vehicle, those parts don't get lubricated the same way, so it doesn't want to run as well as if it's in normal, I won't even say normal conditions, but nice weather conditions where it's not so cold. It doesn't have to work as hard. So our body's the same way. It's the vehicle that gets us from one place to another, and when it gets really cold outside, our body actually goes through changes in the tissues within the joints. So you'll have more osteoarthritis, you will have more chronic pain setting in, you'll have more brain fog, more headaches. Skin becomes really itchy because our skin is our greatest detox organ, but it is also what dries out first if we are not hydrating properly, and because we're not out in the sunshine as much, our body just, the hormones don't regulate. Did you know that your hormones regulate based on how you see the sunrise and sunset? So if you're not exposed to sunlight every day, and today is an overcast day, so there's no sunshine outside at the moment because there's lots of clouds out here. But if you don't have sunlight working through your pupils, your body will not release hormones like it's supposed to. Actually, sunlight is what stimulates hormone production within our body. So if we happen to have access to red light therapy or the infrared sauna blanket, then we can also help into hacking into our nervous system and into our endocrine system, so that we're getting the hormones that we actually need on a daily basis, and we don't feel so icky, because the less our hormones are regulated, the more icky we feel. So this is the Rejuva Wrap X blanket that we have lots of. The BioRemedy has been probably our most popular seller, but if you're interested in some last minute holiday gifts for family and friends who might need something, The sauna blankets are awesome, and we have them on all different price points and all different colors, but it is portable. I packed this in my car and I packed that in my car, and it took up like maybe the size of a seat, not much space. So you can pack it up and take it wherever you want to go. And it does run off of traditional, like regular electricity. I've got multiple extension cords out here so that I'm not running off of like one specific area, because the tent takes 2 power sources. You have to have 2 plug-ins on a 3-prong plug, and this one runs off of a 1 3-prong plug. So needing 3 out here in an outdoor patio, we've got extension cords. So I'm going to take you inside the tent and see what that is like. I've not recorded a video on here before, so it should be interesting to see if everything fogs up on us, which I'm sure it will, but thankfully there's a window built into the Revivify portable deluxe steam sauna, so we will take a look at that. But yeah, so my body, everything is getting nice and warm, and again, when you get into a steam tent, or if you get into a sauna blanket, you want to make sure that you have on as little as possible so that your body can feel the direct energy that you're trying to experience. I am taking my water into the tent because it's going to be very hot and we don't want to dehydrate. But the tent, oh, there it comes out. There's the sauna with the steam. Good stuff. Okay, so we will try this before I fog you all up. This ceramic tile is super, super cold on my piggly wigglies. So forgive me for taking you all over the place, but this is what the inside of the sauna tent looks like. Hang on here. All right. So it's just a nice little home away from home. So those of you who are trying to escape from your kids, trying to hide, there's the motor that runs it. And it just turned off because I had it turned on for a certain amount of time, and now it's off. And it's got multiple preset programs. So let's see if it's run out. Oh, it's run out of water. That's why it's not running. Holds a lot of water. I just didn't fill it completely up. So let's take a look in here. And now we're in the tent. So I'm going to change my little pod here, and it zips up from the inside. Yeah, I'm gonna have to have some more water in here. You know what though? Because I have my water bottle, let's try this, because I ran out of water. So it's not generating steam, which is not fun if you're out in the middle of cold. So let me show you how this works. This is a good timing. This is not what I had planned on, but this is what we're gonna do. Let me show you how this works. It's pretty cool. And again, I'm adjusting my camera here, so bear with me. Okay, so because I have my ionized water bottle, we can fill this bad boy up. So we take that off, be careful. It's very hot on the inside. And we're gonna take my Hydrolife water here, and we're gonna pour it in there, fill it on up to max capacity. There's a line right there at the top. And the hose is attached to the tent. And so it generates steam on its little top. And then it pushes it through this little hose into that little port. Whew, yes, hot, hot, hot. All right, hang tight for me. Can you flip the breaker switch again? Breaker switch went off. Can you flip the switch? I'm out of electricity out here. Okay, hang tight. Now I know why the motor quit running, is because I blew a breaker. I have too much going on here with the electricity. So we're flipping that switch right now. And as soon as we flip that on, we will fire it back up. But anyhow, you can see the hose apparatus coming through to the inside of the tent. It took me a very short amount of time to be able to put this thing together. And it breaks down very, very easily because it will not fit through a single doorway. There we go. All right, so we're gonna turn on, maybe, or maybe not. Hang tight for me. Okay, that one's working. Okay, so for whatever reason, well, that is not the way a demo is supposed to go. Let's try and plug this in and turn it back off here. Hang tight for me. I'm not one to give up very easy, so bear with me. And oh, the other thing is you got to have the app. You can actually run the app This runs from an app. Okay, well, that went kaput. That's not how that's supposed to go, but you know what? It's the real world. Things happen. I'm still going to get in here because it's still warm. And we're still going to experience what it's like to be in a home away from home where nobody else gets to bother you, right? So now we're inside the tent. And it's actually warm. I guess it's a good thing that I'm not experiencing too much steam, or I wouldn't be able to talk to you because this whole outdoor patio is, I'm zipping myself up on the inside so you can let steam out. If it's too much for you, you can let the steam out. There we go. But nice and cozy in here. Greetings to all of you. Yes, so it is, we have a red light therapy panel here, and it is protected from water, in that it's in this waterproof coating. So when I have the power turned on, the red light therapy panel is on as well. I had that on. I have a feeling this has got a time requirement that you can't operate it for any more than so much time because of safety issues. I had it turned on for an hour, and in nice getting warmed up, but it had plenty of steam going on before. But yeah, we don't have a steam tank going on right now, but it's still fun to pretend, right? You got to work with what you got to work with, right? Sometimes these little things happen, but the good news is Lifepro products have a full lifetime warranty, no matter how old or how new your product is, no matter whether you have the receipt or not. We are going to take care of if you happen to have something that doesn't want to work. And I haven't done enough troubleshooting on this one because it just happened, and I've never had it happen to me before. But the good news is that if I do have trouble that I can't get this to start up again, that we will refund your money, or we're going to send you a brand new product for the life of the product. We have an awesome customer support team. We've been going through a lot of personnel changes here lately with our personnel team. So if you're having trouble with getting what you need from our customer service department, then please don't hesitate to reach out to us because we want to make sure you're taken care of. But we have a remote back here that operates the red light therapy. I'll show you it here right now. So here's our remote. And so we can push the power button. Yeah, I think my entire plug just decided it didn't want to work. So because my sauna blanket is working. So I have my sauna blanket out here and it is still working. So it's not the breaker, it's a product issue. But yeah, I'm out here on this outdoor wintry, but you can see from the steam on these windows, that steam tent has been working for the last 45 minutes or so, and I set the timer for an hour, but you can see it's steaming up this entire patio and working quite well. And with the sauna blanket, what's nice with the sauna blanket is it's got this remote here, okay? And so you have the choice of different temperature settings, which are defined in the user's manual, and you can set this up for up to 60 minutes. And it heats up really, really fast. So you only need maybe 5-10 minutes at the most. So it's actively working. Like 5 or 10 minutes at the most for this thing to warm up to capacity for it to feel really, really good. So, but let me do some troubleshooting and see what I can figure out with the sauna tent, because I would love for you guys to be able to witness what that's like, because it's amazing feeling. At the same time, I'm curious from all of you, what excites you about cold weather? If there's anything that excites you from cold weather, or better yet, like where are you located in the region of the United States, or maybe you're outside the United States, and what is it like for you right now? Is it cold with where you're at, or is it, I'm curious as to what your life is like wherever you're at in your neck of the woods. And I'm going to try and figure out what's going on with my, that's very unusual. I've never had anything happen like this where it just doesn't want to work. So just bear with me and just fill into the comment section if you can. But it's a cold wintry day, and worst case scenario, I'm going to get back in the sauna blanket because I know it works. Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Hang tight, and you can just enjoy the great outside. If you are celebrating the holidays with families, tell me a little bit about that. I'm interested in hearing. Oh, here we go. Here's my extension cord. That's why it didn't want to work. Okay, that was an easy fix. Easy fix. Okay, here we go. So we're going to show you this. Okay, so now I know it's working. It's on a P15 setting, which means there's multiple different preset programs. And again, in the user guide here, you can find the preset available settings that you can utilize, and you can set it up to a timer of 60 minutes, and the different temperatures are the different preset programs. So for instance, you're gonna see as this is generating the steam, which is gonna go through that hose into the port of the tent, which you want about 12 inches away from your feet so your feet don't get smoked out. Yeah, I'm gonna let you guys witness this as it's filling up with steam because it's really cool how it works. And we'll zip up the top so you can actually see some of this. Yeah, the product was working just fine. Unfortunately, my extension cord decided to go kaput on us. And it was working just fine when I started, so I apologize for the inconvenience there. But we're looking at how the steam is pouring in there. This also works from an app. I chose not to use the app because I'm out in the middle of nowhere and don't know that the cell signals are the way that is going to benefit me the most. But we have you need 2 plugins for this setup because the red light therapy housed inside the tent takes it a different plug-in from that remote from the others. So I'm looking to see the preset program P0 to P15 for the temperature setting, which is on. Okay, so yeah, unfortunately it doesn't show, but P15 is its default setting for temperature setting. So I'll get you more information on that and we'll learn that as we go. But for now, I'm going to take you inside the tent. Red light therapy panel. When it's turned on and working, it works infrared and red light therapy. So if you're wondering where this sauna comes from in all of this, if you just want steam and you just want warmth, you can have all that without having to have the red light therapy sauna panel on. But the red light therapy, infrared light therapy panel is what gives this its sauna status instead of its heat steam tent status. If you're somebody who is just needing to warm up your joints, you don't care about the infrared or the red light therapy, and you just want the warmth through moisture so that you can, what our body does when it has steam moisture, it opens our pores and it helps with, detoxing our skin. It helps to moisturize our skin. So, you want to make sure that when you're in here, if you're wanting to use the steam for losing weight because you're in a high temperature setting that's moist, you can add layers of clothes on, but just be careful because you can actually overheat in here really easy if you're not careful. Yeah, I can feel the steam kicking in. It's pretty good stuff. But I get in here, if I have the infrared panel on or the red light therapy panel on, I don't want anything on because I want to be able to allow those wavelengths to work through my tissues as easily as possible. And the more layers of clothing we have, it creates a barrier for that phototherapy to be able, those wavelengths to be able to penetrate through our skin to actually healing our cells. And the more cells that we can introduce to wavelengths of infrared or red light therapy, the more our body transforms and regenerates and recovers for us to feel good. So it's pretty cool how it works. And I'm just waiting for more and more steam to fill up the room because it is a bone-chilling kind of cold day today. It's like I want to say it's in the low 20 degrees today here in northern Indiana. And we're really close to Lake Michigan. We're only maybe 10 minutes from Lake Michigan. So we're getting what's called the lake effect. So we're getting even more snow and freezing rain and ickiness because of how the weather moves across the Great Lake. It looks like a ginormous ocean, but it's not. It's fresh water, not salt water. But it looks like a big ocean. But having the lake effect as well as the snowstorms coming through in our state, it makes for a really cold winter. And I don't like cold weather at all. I like warm weather. So I suffer in the past from fibromyalgia. I don't like for it to define me. But my body hurts, or I'm more tired, or I get headaches more often. And so having access to these little biohacks where our body can experience relief because of a heated environment that we can create within our own home allows us to feel the best that we can feel without having to relocate or take a vacation or go lay in a tanning bed, multiple days a week. You get to do all of this from the convenience of your own home. So if you have space in your bathroom or in your bedroom or in your garage or on your outdoor patio, which isn't even insulated, it's just basically shelter from the cold weather, you can easily set up all of these different strategies so that you can enjoy hot and moist and steam and happy tissues, so that you don't have to deal with the issues. Unhappy tissues create problems with issues. So we have, different aches and pains, and doctors want to give you pills or want to tell you just to take time off, and we really don't have the ability to just take time off, and many of us don't want to take pills. So if you can, come up with different strategies as to how to give your body the best environment for it to regulate itself and optimally perform, that's kind of what we're about, is giving you the strategies to use at home, to being able, oh, here comes the steam, to being able to feel your best self. And inside of this tent, the Lifepro provides this itty bitty little chair. It's a cute little chair. But if you just wanted to stand in here for 10 or 15 minutes once you got the steam going, that works out pretty well. So you can start now to see the steam coming up through the camera, and it's going to get really foggy in here really quick because it feels so good. But I don't know, I think we've been chatting here for 5 or 10 minutes, and now we're generating the steam, and now the tent is getting warmer and warmer, and yeah, it's good stuff, really good stuff. So I hope you guys are all having a happy holiday season, whatever holidays you like to celebrate. If you guys are Christmas or Hanukkah or Friendsgiving, or I'm a Christmas fan. I enjoy the spirit of Christmas, and I enjoy being able to give, not so much about receiving, but just giving to making other people's lives better. If you want to be a secret Santa and leave something special on somebody's doorstep, even if it's just a card or a note just telling them that they matter, those kind of things are really, really important, especially when we're going through this seasonal change where we don't have as much, we don't have as much daylight in which we can, experience happy hormones going off in our brain, which changes how our mind functions. So just telling somebody that they matter is, a good reason to leave a card or a post-it note or a message. Just send somebody today that you haven't talked to in a while, hey, I'm just thinking about you today, and I hope that you are having an amazing month or an amazing week. And it is really hard to talk now that there's a lot of steam in here. So that's what I was going to tell you. When you get into an environment where there's lots of steam, you definitely want to make sure that you're doing some deep regulated breathing, some meditational breathing. So let's go through that really quick. We're going to breathe in through our nose for 4. We're going to hold for 4. We're going to blow out for 4, and then we're going to hold for 4. So here we go. Breathe it on in. And blow. Now, because I'm trying to talk, if this is good for us, this is good for us. If you are breathing through your chest instead of through your tummy, it changes how your body receives the oxygenated airflow. So make sure when you're breathing to calming your nervous system down and allowing your body to restore, that you're breathing through your tummy and not so much your chest. So if you put, let it air vent out here. There we go. So hang on, so you can see something. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to stick this camera outside the tent. So hang tight as you get to see the bottom of the tent. And we're going to go out here just a little bit. So now we are outside the tent where you can experience the steam, and you can still, if you need to breathe because you can't breathe inside the tent, these little zippers will allow you to just peek your little head out if you want to. But breathing is really important for lowering anxiety. This is causing me to glow a little bit, so thanks for being here to glow with me. Glow to grow, I like to say. So we're going to breathe in. We're going to hold for 4. We're going to blow out for 4. And then we're going to hold. Breathe in. Hold. Blow out. And and hold. Now, that's one type of breathing. I'm going to teach you another type of breathing that's really quite beneficial and healing, allows you to glow from the inside out. It is a deep breath in. You're going to exhale quick and more forceful. And then don't take a breath until your body says, okay, now I got to get a gasp of air. Okay, so it goes a little something like this. Breathe. Good. Let's try that again. Deep breath in. Blow. Hold. Breathe in when you feel like you need to. And that's how you can kind of reset your different diaphragms. We actually have 5 diaphragms. So that's how we reset the diaphragms. But yeah, this is so nice. Like I said, I can feel the cold draft. If you've ever been in a hot tub where you can feel the heat of the water and you can feel the chill of the air and your hair might be freezing and you might feel really good and warm inside the water, but like everything is freezing up top. It feels really, really good. That's kind of what this sauna tent feels like with the steam, is you're creating steam and you feel like your body is really warm and it's got the moisture on it. So you're glowing, but you still feel the cold of the great outdoors, the cold through the ceramic tile. It's really cool. So anyhow, today was just all about showing you strategies on what you can do to, feel less pain when everything gets cold outside. I wanted to have pictures to show you what our connective tissue, what our fascia, what our cells do when we are exposed to cold temperature, and why our tissues don't respond the same way, why we hurt a lot more when we are in cold weather versus when we are in warm weather. So if you are used to living in a colder region, when you go to a beach or you go to an area where there's lots of sun and there's lots of heat, even if it's dry heat like Arizona where there's no beach, but you're used to being in the cold all the time, your body just feels better. Like you don't feel much pain in the joints, you feel less brain fog, and you just feel fresh. You can create that experience from the convenience of your home with the Revivify Deluxe Steam Tent, which is what we're in right now, or with the Rejuva Wrap X, which is that big blankie right there. And I'm gonna go from this steam sauna into that blanket for yet another 10 minutes just to get the extra infrared coils. This tent has a very small light panel on the inside, but the sauna blanket that I just showed you, it is covered in coil. So if you're wanting to experience low EMF infrared coil sauna technology, but in the form of a blanket that you can roll up like a sleeping bag and move it out of your room, or put it in the corner and still experience the benefits of a sauna with the wavelengths through the coil, then the Rejuva Wrap X or the Bio Remedy, or our standard Rejuva Wrap, which is not as long as the Rejuva Wrap X. If you're wanting to go as full size as possible, the Rejuva Wrap X, which I just showed you, is the favorite. And if you're just wanting cost effective while getting results, then go with the Bio Remedy. If you have one of our old Bio Remedies, be aware that we just went through a product recall and we have to switch out the control panel or the electrical switch on it. And so if you can go to our website, there will be a link to click on for Bio Remedy recall. And once you submit your information on that, we're going to send you all the stuff that you need in order to switch out your control panel on your Bio Remedy blanket. And if you don't feel like you can handle that, then reach out to our customer service department and see if they are willing to send you a new Bio Remedy together. If you don't feel safe, most important thing with Lifepro is we want you to feel safe, and we want you to be able to trust us in that we are going to hold up our end of the customer service promise, but that we also are upholding our end of making quality products that are safe and effective for you to use in the convenience of your home, that are going to provide you medical or commercial grade benefits from the convenience of home with repetitive, consistent use. So It's a great day, and it's a nice, warm, cozy afternoon now that I am biohacking my body into it. So I hope you guys all have an amazing holiday, and continue to stay tuned in our video series. Our spokesman with Lifepro, myself, Roseanne, and Debbie, we have all been with Lifepro for a long time. We're all experts in our different roles that we play. I'm a licensed medical provider, and so I am an expert in the Eastern methodology world as well as the Western medicine world when it comes to sports medicine and pain management. But everything that I do for pain management is non-medicinal, so I resort to a lot of the Eastern methods, which is phototherapy, infrared light, pulsed electromagnetic field, vibration. So if you don't have one of our vibration plates yet, check out the Waiver. It is our top seller, and you're going to hit rock bottom prices through the holiday season, whether you're wanting to buy it for yourself or whether you're wanting to buy it for a friend or a family member or someone special or for your business. I use it every single day in my business. But a lot of the stuff that they've been doing in the Eastern world outside the United States since 1800 BC is really kind of recirculating back around to avoid pills, procedures, and hospitalizations. And we're seeing from not only the before and after objective testing results, whether it's a DEXA scan or an X-ray or an MRI or CT scan or an ultrasound, what have you, we're finding that a lot of these other treatment plan options that you can do from your convenience of your home are working, if not better than or equal to pills and procedures. So do yourself a favor and be an advocate for yourself. Just because your doctor says you have to do this, you are your own ambassador to your life. So make sure that you're asking questions. Make sure that you are holding your medical team responsible for the choices that you have, because you should have the opportunity to make whatever choices you want, because it is your body, even if insurance says it's not. And just know that you're worth it. So if there's anything that we at Lifepro can do to help you, don't hesitate to reach out in our VIP Facebook group, where we will post comments, questions, data, clinical evidence of how these different products can work, and stories of how lives have changed from using our different products. Very seldom do our products cause harm, because we're definitely in the business of not causing harm. That's the medical oath I've taken, is do no harm, and trying to do everything I can to give you the resources and the facts, not the opinions or the feedback, but the facts of what you can do in order to create the optimal environment for your body to heal itself, because our bodies have the ability to heal itself if we would just get out of the way sometimes. But a lot of that has to do with how we think. It's a lot of how we make decisions. It's the resources that we have at our fingertips, and it's just having to do a little bit of extra learning. So don't hesitate to reach out in our Facebook VIP group, where there is a massive community of 30,000 plus members, that all you have to have is one of our products to be involved in that group. And it can be one of our cheapest products. If you haven't checked out the Oculax eye massager, it is one of my favorite products. And I have one product of everything that Lifepro's ever manufactured in the history of the company. But the Oculax is an eye massager. So if you get dry eyes, if you get headaches, if you just can't shut your mind off and relax, you get the different tension headaches, migraines, sinus congestion, the Oculax is awesome for helping with that, because it's got white noise in it, it's got heat, it's got facial massagers, and it just shuts the light out so that you can relax and just be yourself. So it only runs like $50, and right now is a good time to get those as well on Amazon or on our Facebook or our Lifepro page. It's lifeprofitness.com. And but just a low cost product will get you the order number that you need in order to access our VIP group. But we require you to have one of our products if you're going to participate in that group, because we want you to be able to understand what it's like to experience one of our products. And those that usually start there end up in becoming habitual lovers of our different products coming out. When speaking of, we've got lots of really new stuff coming, lots of really neat new things coming out in 2026. Can't give away any of those secrets, but stuff that we've never released before in the past, and more biohacking, more pain relieving strategies. But for the year to come, we're just getting better and better, more innovative, better options for products, and products that we've not offered before that are now, again, technology is always changing, new evolutions of technology and science that heals us, and we're in the business of healing and helping with pain relief and giving you, your dreams back. So there's a saying that he or she who has good health and has no pain has 1,000 dreams, and he or she who doesn't only has one. And that's just to be able to have their life back, their dreams back, and to not be living in fear. So if we at Lifepro can do that for you, that's what we're here for. And I've been with Lifepro since 2018, and have seen a lot of miracles through our organization. So I wish you the very best of this beautiful day, and I'll look forward to seeing you in our next video this week. So again, thanks for watching, and enjoy your day.